cable. So you want to learn that too, how to remove the clutch cable? Go ahead, check it out, part 1. Part 2 right now, we're going to show you how to do the throttle cables. We're going to replace them with new ones, okay? And this bike, what we did is, customer has taller H-bars, so we need to replace the cables because we need them longer so they don't pull and, you know, and stretch out and get damaged with time. So the proper thing is we're putting plus 10 longer cables. I'm going to show you how to do that. At the same time, I am going to also do a part 3 video for this same segment, which will be how to replace the grips on your bike. Just for those guys that want to know how to replace the grips with the throttle body. The ones we're going to install is Avon, so stay tuned to that too. Alright, so let's get to it. I'm going to show you what's up with this throttle. Let's go ahead and get to this side. Let's go ahead and remove the throttle cables. We first got to loosen up these 2 Phillips bolts here. Okay, these are for the actual switches. The throttle tube for the twist is connected to the actual switch. Okay. So we are going to replace the throttle cable. We need to just disassemble all of this here. Okay. Carefully, you come over here. You can see how the actual switch body splits up, okay? Kind of to get it out of the way slightly. And then you're able to slide this whole piece off. Here you will see how the actual cables are linked on the inside of the throttle tube, okay? So you can normally just pull this off like that, turn it one, wiggle that, turn that one, wiggle that a little bit, comes right out. Very simple, okay? You're gonna save this because this is gonna go back in the reverse form. All right, guys. So here we are. 210. Okay, 10 millimeter open wrenches. So we already removed the cables, the throttle cables from the top where the throttle tube and the switch is. And down here we're gonna do the same. This is now for the bottom part on the actual throttle body for the intake. Okay, so just wiggle. That's real easy because we already took the top piece off. You don't need to take the air box off. You gotta just kind of play with the cable a little bit and it'll come out. Same you do with the other side. There. Can you actually look inside here? You guys, there's enough light to show. It's actually getting caught on that clamp, but here we go. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There's one. This one is just kind of in there, so I'll do the wiggling, but I'm gonna use a little flat or something to kind of help it keep going out. Okay. As simple as that. Throttle cables are now officially off. Okay. Make sure you look where it's routed. Very important, very key. It's got to be right in this hoop right here. Okay. It's easier to slide them up. And the same way when you put them back in, you slide them from the top down in. All right. So there's our old throttle cables. They're actually shorter, and we're going with our 2 brand new longer throttle cables. This one wants to hook in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me show you what's up. Reverse the situation. Alright. So now what we're gonna do, let's start with one cable, okay? This is the one that actually pulls. Well, you can tell because it's got this hook on it and it's got the adjustment on it. That's what's gonna be your adjustment for the throttle plate on top. So remember what I showed you, how to run it through that little hoop, little anchor in there. The whole cable has to go through there. Leave this by itself. Come back down here. back again, we're going into the throttle body here, to the butterfly, if you want to call it that. Yeah, it gets it. You gotta be a little good with your fingers maneuvering this stuff, but you should be able to do it. It takes some of us a little bit longer, but then you pull it up. There's a lot of slack, which don't worry about that. You can just take it off by pulling the opposite end slightly. Okay, so it gets you in a kind of in a range, but that's not going to determine where the throttle play is going to be. Okay. So there's cable 1. We're going to cable 2, which is slightly different. Same thing. We're going to route it through the same area. Okay. Yeah, this one was a little bit hard to take off because it was in the angle, but actually to put it back in should be a lot easier just because the air box is there. Or in this case, the air intake that we put from Two Brothers. If you actually zoom, if you could zoom in there, you might be able to. It just keeps turning a little bit. There we go. Slide it up. Push the cable through. Take the slack off by pulling on the other end. Get it in there, position it, and then adjust your bolt so it doesn't fall out. Okay. There you are. Now we got 2 throttle cables connected to the bottom. Now we'll go to the top. We're going to reconnect this into the actual top of the switch. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and close everything up to the actual throttle tube. But in this case, we're going to replace it with an aftermarket Avon. Alright. So we're pretty much, we got our cable set. Okay, this is part of the, we're also using this part of this video for the throttle cable replacement, because we have to disconnect the throttle cables from the actual throttle body. Alright, so there we go. That secures our cables on there correctly to the back of the plastic housing for the switch. Here you got to see, you got your cable now. This is your pull cable. The pull cable is the one that has the actual adjuster for the actual play. Okay, this is what we're going to use to adjust the final throttle play. You're going to get your tube. You know that it's got a pull, so you come in like this. Since it is a new tube, everything's going to be tighter and harder to put. Okay. The hardest part is this other end. So what I like to do is I do this. And I'll do this. Just like I take them off the same way backwards. And then I'll just kind of force the turn. There we go. And then just kind of pull this cable. Give me 1 sec. There we go. Oops. See? So now you turn it. See how the throttle pulls? Very nice. Easy. Okay? So now from here, we're able to then put our cable up. Make sure that when you're going to put this back in here to the old tube, that this tube is clean. Okay? That there's no dust, no dirt. And then when you slide on, it slides on nice and smooth, like it did originally. Okay? And then you bring in your other half of the switch. You gotta come around this side. Remember, it has a slit for the actual wiring. So you slide it up, turn it around, push it through, grip it, okay? Let's go around the other side. Now we're gonna put back our bolts that we actually took off. Grab our handy screw gun. This one too. All I'm gonna do is reach them. Okay, somebody had already messed with this throttle tube and throttle body before. The Phillips screws are a little bit strict, but you know, as long as you're careful, it'll be fine. Now, we want to make sure that you're not all the way in like this, because you want to have at least 1/8 of an inch off, so you can have the tube, the Avon grip, with the twist away from the swing, from the actual handlebar. So you can go in all the way, but you never know, it'll get caught. It's dangerous. You just pull it back about 1/8 of an inch, right about there. You know the end is clear. We got enough play. Now you could actually tighten up your bolts correctly. Nice and snug. Okay. Make sure it doesn't turn, right? Obviously these are H bars and they don't have the dimple for it to lock, so it could turn a little bit, but in a normal situation it's gonna lock in with the dimple, and this is just gonna do this. That's a perfect throttle response. Now the play, it's a little bit kind of tight, so let's go over here, and since this is our pull cable, this one right here, we could actually either, this is where we would do our adjustment. Okay, so you guys would want to do it to whatever factory specs wants you to have as far as play. So once you adjust, let's say you pull, that tightens up the play, you loosen, you righty tighty actually shortens up the length, so it actually loosens the play. Once you're there, you're done. Then this is your counter nut that'll tighten everything up. You could hand tighten it or get some pliers and tighten it up, and you'll be set, and that would allow you to have your play. If for whatever reason this is not enough adjustment up here for the play, okay, then you have to adjust from the bottom, which is right here where we disconnected the cables at the beginning of the video. Okay, so in this situation I'm gonna do that because I do have play, but not what I want to have on the top. On the top I'm like saturated as far as how much play I got. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is loosen up the top nut, so it actually allows the actual cable to go in more. The more in it goes, the more play it gets. Could you actually see the cable, how it wiggles? See, so that's got a good play there. Okay, and then what we're gonna do before we do is turn the nut back up, so we keep that position there. Okay, it just takes a little bit of practice, but as you guys get better, you know, it'll be easier. I would rather have more slack on the top so I could adjust from the top, not from down here. All right, guys. So I'm set. I pretty much got the slack that I need up top by loosening and adjusting these bottom ones. Okay. It does get a little tricky. You gotta play with these open wrenches. It's a 10 mil, remember that. Nice and tight. There you go. And you can guide these correctly, right? The cables. Throttle's great. Awesome possum. Okay, let's get back to the top. Well, we should be able to get our, there we go. Give me one sec right there. All right, guys, so pretty much the throttle cables are already set and adjusted, but I did have to play with the bottom one on the actual return cable so I could get enough play here, you know, that I could actually adjust right here. Okay, so I don't want a quarter throttle play. I want approximately about 1/8. So this, you pull it, you turn it left, and it'll actually stretch the cable. That'll make the throttle play go away. Okay, but you don't want that. You don't want it too tight. I like to do 1/8 of an inch, so I'm turning it back in so I could, if you look at it, I could get 1/8 of an inch play. So it's not fully tight, because you just want to give it that freedom so it doesn't, you turn right, turn left, no problems. Okay, once you got that adjustment set here, then you use your counter nut, just the other one, and you counter it the opposite way. You go ahead, hold one end, tighten the counter nut, very lightly, look, doesn't damage anything. You're all set. Now you have an 1/8 of an inch play. Give you some throttle safety. Throttle is Bombay. So that's pretty much the throttle cable install. And now we know that our throttle cables are new, we're installed. If you don't trust yourself, if you think that the throttle might be an issue for you, because it is a very sensitive piece of the bike, which if you can't do it or you're not sure, trust a professional. Call me 619-691-0866, Advanced Motorsports, or any professional shop near you that could do it for you. Okay, this is a custom job. Some companies, some dealers, franchises, Yamahas won't do it just because of the procedure that you have to do through the Avon cams on the throttle tube. All right, so stay tuned. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of the next video, which is our number 4 video, I believe, which is the one of the Avon grip installation. In this video, we actually did part of it because we disassembled the throttle cables on this bike, and we're doing the actual throttles and cables and everything. All right, thank you guys. Stay tuned. Get ready for number 4, which will be finishing up the Avon grip installs.